Liverpool are just that team that it don't matter what happens in a game, last minute winner, you can probably count on it. You could probably count on it. Champions League entertainment. Liverpool versus Atletico at Anfield definitely never disappoints. And then on the other side, you got Bayern Munich versus Chelsea, who I think Bayern Munich were just all over them. We got so much to talk about, so make sure you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. Now let's start with Liverpool, and of course I think it was the most anticipated game coming into the Champions League week, mainly because it was likely that Alexander Isak was going to make his debut. And despite the fact that he came off just before the 60-minute mark, you saw a little glimpse of what life might be like for Liverpool fans with Alexander Isak leading the front line. And for me, the fact that, they can call on reinforcements in their team, whether it's just for a rest for their players or for extra depth, and they got the likes of Ekitike, they got the likes of McAllister, even Connor Bradley, if you want to mention him too, and the youngster in Rio. But Alexander Isak gave a little glimpse of what life's going to be like playing with the likes of Florian Wirtz, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, and even when he's not taking shots on goal, which he took one or two throughout the game, it's that all-rounded link-up play that he offers. But I actually have to speak of, for me, the standout player for Liverpool today was actually not someone in their front line. For me, personally, it was Ryan Gravenberch. I think Ryan Gravenberch is, what he does, it's understated. It's not underappreciated. It's not underrated. It's understated. I don't think people grasp really the abilities of what he can do in the middle of the pitch, both in and out of possession. And he's got that Ryan Gravenberch turn, if you want to call it that, in possession when he's on the ball. His ability to drive, his ability to, use his body well, shield the ball, strength. Players can't get near him. And even out of possession as well, his ability to, gallop through the middle, get back. He offers Liverpool so much in that midfield. And whether he's playing alongside McAllister or, playing alongside Szoboszlai, where he was in the first half, it's just that what he offers. And I'm envious of it. Because I don't think there's many players in world football in the midfield that can do what Ryan Gravenberch can do in and out of possession. Got himself an assist as well. And today Mohamed Salah as well, kicking off his Champions League campaign with a goal and an assist. Probably could have had another goal. But I think what is going to steal the headlines will be that Van Dijk header. When you need a winner, when you need a late winner, your captain leaps up and just puts in an amazing header to secure those 3 points, because Atletico, no matter what, and I have to give it to them, because coming into the game, I felt like, how was Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid going to approach this game? Were they going to approach it more conservatively? Were they going to do the Atletico special, or there's a Simeone special where it's played quite defensively, quite compact, and hit on the break? But even when they went 2-0 down within 5 or so minutes, I don't think they really counted themselves out of the game. And I think that was probably the big difference maker. I think, you talk about Llorente. He loves a goal at Anfield, right? 4 goals in 2 games at Anfield. And I saw a report that said that he's got a dog named Anfield. I don't know if he loves playing at Anfield that much that he named his dog after the stadium. But that second goal that he scored was just an absolute amazing goal. On par, I think, with the goal that Kvaratskhelia scored for PSG versus Atalanta in terms of the best goals of the night. Just hit that with whip, with curve, with everything. And a goalkeeper of Alisson's ability couldn't even stop it, and that probably says a lot, because Alisson is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But Liverpool just do this thing, like I said, they do this thing wherever it is, whether it's Burnley on the weekend, it's Atletico midweek, they just don't go away. And I think Liverpool fans might feel like they should have cruised through that game. They should have had a couple of more goals throughout the game, but their ability, like I said, to just not drop their shoulders, their ability to not let the moment get to them when they end up conceding 2 goals and one of them being a fantastic one, and being able to secure 3 points. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I have to kind of give it to them. Diego Simeone as well, just doing what Simeone does, loses his head to that Liverpool winner. And yeah, big Virgil van Dijk stepping up when it most counts. But it's making me very interested, just seeing the glimpses of Wirtz with Isak, Salah, Gakpo playing together. It makes me very curious to see how it will go on for Liverpool. And like I said, the quality and the additions that they have off the bench just shows that if they make those changes mid-game, there's not really a drop-off in their levels. I think Liverpool, from match day 1, what I realised in the Premier League against Bournemouth on the opening day of the Premier League, in transitional attacks, they are scary. They've got, ample ability running at you, pace, tech, you name it. And any other day, they probably put away the chances maybe that they had today and cruise through the game 3-0, 4-0 up. But I've got to give credit to Atletico for not really sinking in that moment, because I think they gave Liverpool a very good game. Not the Atletico that you'd anticipate coming into the game. And I think those 2 goals so early on was a big part of that. Liverpool fans, let me know how you feel about that result. But for me, I have to give big credit to Ryan Gravenberch. I have to give big credit to Ryan Gravenberch. Now, talk about Ryan Gravenberch, his former team Bayern Munich coast past Chelsea, and I think it just shows you maybe the quality that Chelsea have in their team in comparison to probably the standard or the levels of other Champions League teams in the competition this year. I think Cole Palmer single-handedly trying to carry the team on his back in the attack. And I saw a stat that said his goal that he scored was his 45th goal for Chelsea in 100 appearances, and that's a great return. And that is the example, I think, of a player that's doing his best to carry his team on his back. But I think the attack need to be better, the defense need to be better, especially in the Champions League when teams like Bayern Munich will punish you both in and out of possession. I'm going to talk about Bayern Munich as well, because for me, Bayern Munich's standout player, I mean, Harry Kane is just Harry Kane. 2 goals, could have had a hat-trick because Sanchez made some big saves against Harry Kane. But Harry Kane is the level of the type of striker you want in your team when it comes to Champions League match days. And I think that just shows you the difference in the strikers' abilities between Bayern Munich and Chelsea. Albeit Chelsea, I think, are a young team. They're still learning, they're still meshing. But Champions League, I think, is one of those competitions where the waiting period of learning and adapting is harsh. It's harsh, and I think Chelsea might have learnt that today, because Bayern Munich, despite the fact that the front line is not maybe the best in terms of the level of Barcelona or PSG, but it's still a very good front line that Bayern Munich have. Gnabry in the 10, you got Olise, who for me today, magician on the ball, amazing, exciting to watch. I think he has everybody up on his feet when he has the ball at his feet, and he didn't walk away with technically a goal or assist, but that first goal that Chalobah accidentally puts into the back of the net, that comes from Olise. That comes from Olise magic, if you want to call it that. And when you're talking best wingers in world football, I know people get the Sakas and the Salahs and the Yamals. Make sure you're adding Olise to that conversation, because he deserves a seat at that table. And I think this season he's going to probably showcase it even more. And to think that this is only his 2nd season at Bayern Munich, and he, even in his 1st season, his debut season with Bayern, he was able to show us the levels. He was really able to show us the levels. But for me, Olise was a standout player for Bayern Munich, and I know Bayern Munich fans absolutely love him. But one thing that really intrigued me with the way that Vincent Kompany's set up, because watching the game, I felt like there was so much space in the midfield. I felt like there was so much space in the midfield for either team to exploit. And in the first half, it really felt like Chelsea were trying to play right through the middle, but nothing would stick for them in terms of, having Enzo in the 10 and João Pedro. It was like the hold-up play was just not sticking, and they were trying their best to kind of utilise their wide players, and obviously Cole Palmer was a big part of that. But one thing that I felt like Bayern Munich were able to do well in the second half, and despite the fact that, it's 2-1, the game's still in reach for Chelsea, right, when they're 2-1 down, they did not let their foot off the gas. Bayern Munich came out in the second half and were trying to get a third, maybe even trying to get another one after that. And their press was, I think, near enough to immaculate. And that's actually what forced the goal for Harry Kane. It's a great finish from Harry Kane, a striker's finish, if you want to say that. But the press, that front four, the relentlessness that the front four were playing in, despite the fact that I felt like there was times in the game where they were cruising through and they were slicing Chelsea open. It's definitely a learning experience, I think, for Chelsea, especially, they got tough games to come in the Champions League, and also they got Manchester United midweek, so this will be something that they can definitely learn from. But the levels in Champions League football is different compared to your bread and butter of the Premier League. But I don't think the games have disappointed so far. Match day 1, the second leg or element of match day 1, if you want to say that. We still got some great games to come on Thursday night as well. But for me, Olise, stand out. Ryan Gravenberch, stand out. Intrigued to see what Isaac and Wirtz do together as well. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What did you make of the games? Champions League football, man. There's nothing else quite like it. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here.